All right. I mentioned Sooke and the commute in the traffic. That's because we're about to talk about Sooke and trying to get in and out of town, where you got Sooke Road crossing the Sooke River Bridge. That's the one way in and out. Occasionally, that causes trouble when you get some kind of problem on that route. So there's been long talked about this potential other route, the Throup Road, Phillips Road connector. It's been discussed, but it might be that current vision is hitting a bit of a snag. Let's find out more. We got the mayor of Sooke, Maja Tait, on the line. Hello, how are you?
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Great to talk to you today. So maybe back this up and remind us of what's going on here for those who haven't been following as closely, because I know there's people in Sooke who have been following this closely forever. In fact, I think there was a referendum on this back in the 2000s in Sooke, whether or not you should do this. This is a route that has long been discussed. Where is it at right now?
Yes, that is correct. So there was a referendum back in 2005 that failed. The community did not want to progress this particular connection. That's fine. However, 20 years later, development happens, commuting happens. And so over time, since 2020, a new transportation master plan was developed that explored this particular connector. So the one portion that has no road on it would be a connection from Phillips Road to Throup Road. So for folks that know where Sea Park Arena is, it would be on the pool side of the arena and would go over the gully and connect to Throup Road where Journey Middle School is. And then we would enter in the actual road network that exists there. And so we have heard over time that we need to continue to advance this connection so that traffic is dispersed as it comes into Sooke. So transportation study in 2018 indicates that perhaps about 30% of Highway 14 traffic would be diverted over onto this new connection. And then as further development came on stream down Grant Road or perhaps in the Wadhams area, that would increase over time. Now, the challenge is this is a particularly challenging part to cross. It's not level. There is quite a gully in that area. For anyone that's walked down there, it's steep terrain. It's a natural corridor, and there's no road. So the entire thing would need to be leveled out. There would need to be a bridge. There would need to be retaining walls, and so expensive. So where this advanced to our meeting this past week was to look at one particular section, and it would be just to do the Phillips to Throup, but we're looking at about $20 million at a minimum. So council hit a snag or perhaps a dead end in looking at what would the width of the road be? Would it be staff are proposing with engineering best practice that this would be a roundabout? There was discussions that perhaps it could be a T intersection or a stoplight, that we don't need to put in the full road width. Maybe it should be partial. But it's one of those things that if you're going to do it, perhaps you should do it right the first time. But in the end, we're out of term and time. And I think at this point, council resolved to put a pause on this. We're heading into an election. There'll be a new council on board, and perhaps they can workshop it and come up with something when more effective decision-making is underway.
So there's the bottom line. The council this week, that was the decision to kind of put this on hold for now. A new council can take it on. That was council's decision. How did you feel personally about that decision? Which way would you have gone on this?
There was an opportunity to advance to even a plebiscite, non-binding, to ask a question, is this a priority for the community? Should we even advance and continue work on this road at all? I was sort of in favor of that I was in favor of that just to see where the community sits on this particular connection and those that and where it stands. Considerable amount of time and effort, tax dollars for staffing time, consulting time, studies and the like are used every year at a time when we're hitting increasing in taxes and other priorities come to mind. This is one section of an overall road. traffic in other parts of Sooke. We have failing intersections as it is. So do we put everything, borrow everything, and spend all our time on one connection to offset 30% of traffic? That decision did not go ahead. So it's fine. In the end, there was a sense, well, we could get grants for this, and we just need to do the roads. But all the grants available right now are for active transportation, for sidewalks, for infrastructure, for multimodal use, not just for roads. So you can't take a grant for active transportation. We got one from the province. Thank you, province. You can't take a grant for bike lanes and sidewalks and use it for road construction. We'd have to give that grant back. So that's why there needs to be, I think, just discussion on we couldn't decide on even whether it was going to be a roundabout or a T intersection. I'm not in support of a T intersection. If you're going to do this at all, then do it right the first time.
Well, either way, I guess it's a task for another council now, as Sooke Council right now this week has decided, at least at the moment, not to move forward with any of this. But I guess we'll see what happens down the road. I got to leave it there, though. Mayor Maja Tait of Sooke is here. Much appreciated. Good luck with the rest of your day, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you. Love to hear from commuters and to hear your point on this. And remember, there's an election happening. Thanks for your time. Look forward to seeing who's running. Take care. Thank you.
Coming up in October, and we'll be following it here on CFAX 1070, the Civic Elections. Coastal Heat Pumps brings you the show, by the way, for a comfortable home no matter the season. Big savings on your heating bill. Talk to Coastal Heat Pumps, designed for comfort, the South Island's Elite Plus Fujitsu Air Stage dealer. We got your 8:30 news next, and we're going to be talking about the World Cup of Soccer, Canada versus Switzerland, coming up today. And yes, it will be on the radio right here on CFAX 1070.